It's very amazing to recognize that there is a need that the young people want, and being able to recognize that need, and which the need is their own mental health. So what do we have to do about that? First thing that has to be done is making them aware, and that is why I respect what RiWA is doing, bringing these young people together and putting them in a space and making them move through a period of time, once a month, having sessions where we come and we create a safe space for ourselves. Because everybody, all of them are going through something. All of them, from the stories they've shared, from all the conversations we've had, you'll find that these people, this specific group that we are been taken through these sessions, are going through something common. And that is something to do with their own mental health, and they don't know how to deal with it. So being able to bring somebody that can relate to them is the most amazing thing, and that's where now I come in, being able to understand that these people, these young people are not suffering on their own, but they need to be open, like their eyes need to be open. They need to be put through a session where they understand that the feelings, the emotions that they go through are meant to be felt. And how do you start to deal with these stresses that come with it? So basically that is the scope of like what I've been doing, and just being able to take them through sessions. From the first one, the first session was based on mental health introduction, like what is just the introduction of mental health, like recognizing mental illnesses. And then the second session, we started looking at illnesses one by one, and I did depression and anxiety on the second session. The other mental disorder is PTSD, like he mentioned. And PTSD, this is also proven, like with South Sudanese, is one of the biggest that we have. PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. And post-traumatic stress disorder is basically, it's basically like fear, but you have a lot of panic attacks with it, because you get reminded of an incident that you had way back, let's say gunshots, yeah? We've all experienced war, South Sudanese. And anytime, I swear to God, let somebody just blow a bottle somewhere here, everybody's going to run, because your mind is not even going to like try to think, you know, like you're going to go straight to the survival mode. I need to get out of here, you know, because it's a trauma. It's a trauma. It's a post-traumatic stress disorder, because it started way back. It's something that happened to you, even though you were not shot personally, but you've seen people die of guns. You've probably a family member died through gunshots or whatever, and all of that. So PTSD also could be like through snake bites, you know, like you get bitten by a snake, and every single time you move, even though just a simple wire ties itself around you, you are straight up triggered. You are triggered. The third session, basically, which was based on anger, which is one of the best sessions that most of these young people, they had feelings inside them, and these are feelings that they didn't know how to deal with, and being able to conversate and understand that this young other person is going through the same thing that I'm going through. Like when you're depressed, you get so angry, like you don't even know why you're angry. You find yourself, you're triggered anytime. Like I step on her leg straight up, like I'm just gonna like go down with you. She will just hit me, you know, because it's also some sort of it's some sort of trauma that is based on maybe unresolved issues, and usually it has to do with childhood memories, because I like to refer to childhood memories because that is where the foundation of everything starts. All of us were born pure human beings with no mashakil, no problem, no nothing. You are born pure as you are. But then you start to create shadows, like growing up. You're born with no fears. That's why you find a baby is playing with snakes. We start to create those fears like inside us, because if I want to jump and I'm told, no, you cannot jump, I will hate jumping as a child, because they say it's bad. So I cast it as a shadow. I put it on the side. So every single time probably I see somebody jumping or whatever and all of that, it gets me agitated, because that has been wrong where I've come from. You know, like I've been consistently told this is not right. So these sessions are really important, and I feel like they need to continue.
There are some things that I did not know what is what exactly about mental stress. I didn't know things about food disorder, that it was a real thing, or sleeping disorder, things like I did not know before that I've actually got the chance to learn today. And I feel more educated that I came here today.
Now, the fact that they left Juba to come to to a different location to be able to, that change of scenery, it's also good for like their own healing. Like, you know, like they get to be able to connect with a different environment, with different cultures.
The first thing that has actually relieved my mind is the fact that Juba, I'm in an environment whereby I feel like I'm always close, and I feel like the news going around South Sudan that South Sudan is not peaceful, South Sudan has issues and stuff like that, that I felt like Juba was the right place to be all the time. But coming to Terkeke now, I found it's peaceful, it's green, it's fresh air, there's less noise, less problems, less guns, by the way. Without even talking, I've not seen a gun since I came here. So it's actually more peaceful, and me coming here, actually one of the best decisions I've made today. So I feel like it's a good thing, and I can't wait to actually visit the other places in South Sudan to actually, you know, actually experience how it feels like to be out of Juba, not only in Juba.
Understand that when you're stressed out, accept it. Accept that I am stressed out. Being able to accept the problems that happen within, because we always try to keep them away. Now, I want everybody to always understand that these stresses are part of our lives. And if they are part of our lives, there are ways that I can deal with them. So what are the coping mechanisms? So like, everybody needs to be taught, and that's still the problem right now, because in South Sudan it's not yet recognized so much. While it's growing, which is really beautiful.
There's this thing they said, you should know the things that you can handle and leave out those that you know you cannot handle. Just let them go, because the more you think about them, you keep stressing yourself. Last week on Tuesday, I lost the closest friend I've ever had. Very close friend of mine died, and I really felt very, very bad. I didn't know how to let it go off my mind. I didn't even share it there. I didn't tell anybody. Okay, very close friends of mine know, but many people do not know, and it kept in my mind. I'm really not fine. But during the session where the moderator said there are things that you have to know your demon. And if you know that demon, you can call it by name. You have to assess the demon and know whether yes or not you can handle this demon in what way. I've realized these are some of the things that you should just let go, because there's nothing you can do about it. It has already happened, it has already happened. Because it is draining me, it is stressing me, it's doing a lot of stuff, and yet I can do nothing about it. And I think I have a way out now from the discussion, because everybody was talking genuinely from their heart. And nobody knows what I'm going through. So I've picked a very genuine information from people that I know. This one is expressing himself like that without knowing my situation. So I put myself in that shoe, and then I know, man, I have to let go as well.
I almost committed suicide some few weeks ago, because I had some stress, and I felt insecure. Though I wanted to share them with some friends. And then at the same time, I was surrounded by toxic people. So I ended up keeping for myself until like a friend of mine just called me of recent. Though I survived the day, I didn't kill myself, and I still feel I was still in prison. But now I feel perfectly relieved from a lot of stuff. Like I really felt like I'm a newborn today, because I'm going back with new stuffs, new life. I'm going to throw away all the nonsense, let me say, the stress, all the things that I had in my brain, you know.
The South Sudanese music industry itself is very weak, so it's been very painful, and I've been stressed about how am I going to help change the music industry itself. But then I realized that coming here today helped me, that realize that there are some things that I can control and some things I cannot control.
Mental health is not talked about openly, and I think we need to start having conversations about issues to do with mental health. We need to start having conversations about trauma, because we've been through traumatic experiences. Everybody has an experience. So we need to normalize conversations on trauma, basically.
اوكي حاجه الفن بمشي بقول كده لريوا. انا بقول لكم ريوا شكرا، يعني قدرتوا فعلا تشجعونا احنا في مجتمع بتاعنا الحسي ده ببرنامج بتاعكم اللي انتوا عملتوه. قد يكون برنامج ما بطل برنامج تمام، انا بيستمر يعني ما بس ياخر هنا، ان شاء الله يمشي لقدام ما بس لنا هنا. كمان نتمنى يعني تجيبوا ناس ثانيين اكثر يتعلموا زي ما احنا تعلمنا منكم.